Welcome back, everybody. Well, we made it. We made it to spring. It's a beautiful spring day. And what I'm going to do here today, I'm going to have a little, literally, a change of gears. With spring comes the end of winter, which means it's the end of winter projects. Mr. Jones, the W-31 here, is a winter project. I don't have a big shop. And my car stays where my car stays, but we need to get the convertible in because there's some things we want to do to that before spring cruising. So today, the Mr. Jones shell is going back on its frame, and we're going to put that in the enclosed car trailer, and we're going to bring the convertible in so I can get that work done. But it dawned on me that maybe some of the more recent viewers haven't seen every video we've put out. And therefore, they haven't seen all the work that we've done on this car. So I want to just do a summary. I don't want to bore everybody with a lot of the same dialogue that I've been providing you with. But I do want to give a quick summary about what we've gotten accomplished here and when we started, okay? This car came here last summer, but it didn't come in the garage until the beginning of October 22. So actually, if we pushed it to April 8th, October 8th was the day it came in. If we push it to April 8th, it'd be 6 months. But I want to kind of show you guys everything that we've gotten done. Myself, my brother, John, of course, has lent a very significant hand here. So let me flip the camera around, show you guys what we've done. Then I'm going to show you actually the labor log that I keep. And I'll show you how many hours I have in the car to date. Some people might be interested in that. So this car came in this garage back in October, a complete car. And if anybody wants to go back to some of the original videos to look, they can see that this car was brought up here as complete as it was when Joe bought it. You know, it was, missing its glass and some of the parts are just trashed. But here's what we have. In addition to the very rudimentary disassembly and getting the body taken apart, clip off, doors off, etc., got it off the frame, drivetrains out, great. There's been a significant amount of metal work, some of the least of which is little patches like this where the heater box is. There's a little short video about that. Here, we've harvested a piece of firewall out of a donor shell we have out back because the original firewall piece was rotted. So this is a piece cut out and welded in from a donor. So starting here, about this elevation, right? About this elevation, all the way down, everybody, the floors were cut out. The floor supports were cut out. There's been a significant amount of work to the inner rocker panels, as most people will understand. I am bored of saying those words. Aftermarket floor supports, spot welded in through the floors. Some of this stuff has literally taken me days and days and days and days to do, and minutes to video and show. Metal patches in various places of the rockers, pieces of metal made over there at the kick plate there on the driver's side. Salvaged a portion of the original rear seat panel because the aftermarket one didn't match as well as we liked. New rear seat floor in addition to obviously new floor pans in here. New trunk floors formally installed at this point. Along with, I fabricated new patches here for the bottoms of the rear wheel wells because they were rotted where the trunk pan met that. So that's all been cut out. This is the remainder of the rear trunk floor. The rear seat pan, the original one that I wanted to save because the seatbelt locations were completely different in the aftermarket. That's all been spot welded to that piece. The new trunk pan has been spot welded to that. These pieces were fabricated from scratch, flat pieces of metal. I made new rear wheel well drop down flanges off the inside of those inner wheel wells. Aftermarket trunk drop downs. That's a pretty recent video. They're tacked in there. Somebody actually left a comment. How you gonna be sure to get them to line up to the new quarters? Well, you can see that while they're tacked up top, they're not permanently mounted. They're still just screwed in. So there's definitely some adjustment there. Some of the original viewers will see that this was all rotted, right? I told you, eyes front, keep your eyes off this. This was all rotted. We sourced a rear trunk, a rear body beam from a Chevelle. This is a 69 Chevelle. This trunk pan is off of a 70 to 72 Chevelle because it came with all the floor supports. And we had to do a significant amount of modifications for that. The rear taillight boxes were completely rotted. Those have been repaired. I wanted to save that portion of the rear trunk pan where it says OLDS. So that's all been repaired. And now I can definitely say from the rear body mounts, these body mounts are what the car mounts to the frame on. From there, all the way up to the front at the firewall, this car is 100% solid, okay? So after that summary of what's gotten accomplished here since the car got brought in here October 8th, I now want to show some of the time that I've recorded in this car. So I just keep a regular notebook, composition notebook. Nothing fancy. Recycled from kids' school, didn't use it. I know that this car got brought in Saturday, October the 8th. And I know we spent 4 hours on it. The first day it was here. Cleaning it out. Literally resorted to cleaning it out with a pressure washer, compressed air, and my leaf blower. That's what it takes to get started. And those are all hours that are accountable. It goes through, all right, everybody? This is all the time that I spent on this car and what I've done and the hours that these activities took, okay? So if we just pick the day, now we're into November, right? We just picked a day here. Let's just pick a random day. Sure, February 5th. Remove the floor pans to formally fit the supports and screw the supports into place. Now that the floor pans, I guess back here, we had modified the floor pans to make sure we can get them to fit. We lift the car body up. We spun it 180 degrees. Oh, this is cool. And we cut out the trunk floor. That's actually one that a lot of people might remember. That took me from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. 7 hours that day. 7 hours for what's probably not even 7 minutes of video. Okay, so here we go. The grand total from October 8th through yesterday. 289 hours, everybody. 289 hours is what it took me. I'm not saying it's what it takes. I'm saying it's what it took me. 289 hours through yesterday to get this car from what it came in this driveway as, which was a complete car, albeit a pile of crap, to what you see here, which is a completely dismantled and disassembled car. Everybody loves the W-31 engine exposed video. Well, there's the W-31 engine. And there's the shell, okay? Not much more else to say, other than there's a lot more to do. I'm not surprised that it has taken me this much time. I'm somewhat impressed with myself for keeping up this pace. But gotta tend to reality now. Work starts picking up this time of year. There's a lot more things that we need to be doing outside. Yard work, housework, etc., etc. Plus, we have two cars. We have the OG, my car, and we have the Hail Mary, Alyssa's convertible. Not to mention John's got his El Camino that runs. All right, so the plan today is this is gonna go back on its frame into the enclosed car trailer, and the convertible's gonna come in because there's a tranny leak and we got some brake shake we wanna deal with before Alyssa starts driving it. There'll be some cool stuff to see today. And with any luck, all 360.
Oh yeah, I can feel the breeze.
All shiny. Dad, this is not what I do.
No, I would love a hammock. No, but I can't. I don't have time for a hammock. They put this angle iron in the...
I don't have time for it.
Well, that's the whole problem with hammocks. It encourages leaking.
Yeah, no, it would make me sad. I'd look at it and realize I can't ever sit in it because I have to clean up after my kids and build hot rods. And then I'd go like, well,
I thought it wasn't neutral.
So yesterday we worked pretty hard, moving trailers around, moving cars around. And the Mr. Jones W-31 project is in the enclosed car trailer, and here is Alyssa's convertible, the Hail Mary car. Brought this car in. This is actually the same spot where this car was built, same place where the Mr. Jones car is. Brought this car in yesterday because we had a little bit of a transmission leak over the winter. And I don't like that, obviously, who does? So I ended up having to buy a drain pan for a washing machine because I didn't want it dripping on the floor of my trailer. So now I guess this is gonna be the new, yeah, it's a little different view than the Mr. Jones. I'm gonna jack this car up tonight and get underneath it, see if I can't figure out where the leak is coming from. It's the original VIN number matching Turbo 350. I did not rebuild it. It was rebuilt some time ago, I guess. I did put a B&M shift kit in it. It should, the motor wants to have a torque converter in it. The rear end with 256s, it would really kind of cook the converter. So it does have a stock torque converter in there. And I don't know where the fluid's coming from. If you drive the car every weekend and you put around all summer long, it kind of didn't, maybe it would leave a little drip here and there, but man, I tell you, it was dripping in the car trailer. So this is what I'm gonna work on. Jack it up, get underneath it. I'll show you guys a little bit of how the underneath looks. And we'll see, I'm not gonna core underneath it, I'll show you when I jack it up. We'll see what it looks like. The other thing that I want to address is it does have the factory drums. The OG has the factory drums. You know, my car, non-power, obviously W-31, no power. This does have power brakes. This car is new. As I said in some of the other videos, this car is new, master cylinder to brake shoes, wheel cylinders, everything in between. The power drums are a little bit touchy. And what we noticed, I did take it on a cruise, on a drive last fall maybe, about 65 miles away. And it developed a bit of a brake shake after that. So I don't know what the deal is. It does have these Kragers on. They're kind of unilug, and I don't really love how they're sitting on the original drums. So I might try to just I have another set of drums. I might swap the front drums. You know, these are the factory steel, bell drums in there. I might try to swap a set of wheels, swap a set of drums, maybe one thing at a time, so I see what the fix is. But, okay, good. There's the update. This is where I'll be, under here. And who's ever been watching the channel for quite literally 6 months, they've seen that, eggnog-colored cutlass shell hanging from the ceiling. But this is kind of what it looks like when there's together cars. So I want to get going on this before spring, because then Alyssa will be on my case that she wants to drive the car and I don't want it dripping. So let me put the phone down, get to jacking this thing up, getting jack stands underneath it, and then I'll bring you guys along underneath there.